I don't think we can do this work without family engagement. I think families have to be engaged in what we do at any school in order to make students successful. Teaching is a big part of it, but family engagement is equally just as important to our students. One of the things at Leith I think we do, if you talk about your strengths and your weaknesses, is really getting our families more engaged into what exactly happens at the school. For example, I always look at all the data of the school, but one particular data piece I always look at is kindergarten. And I look at kindergarten data because I'm trying to figure out how do I get all of my kindergarten children to be able to know all their letter sounds by the time they get out of kindergarten. I don't mean like 99.9%. I want 100% of my students leaving kindergarten knowing every single letter name. Right? So I'm trying to figure out, okay, what are we missing? What's happening that we can't meet this goal? Why can't we get close to this goal? What is wrong? We have the staff, right? So most of the kids are coming to school, so what is missing? And then I asked a couple of kindergarten parents, do you know what it takes for your child to actually be successful when they go to first grade? Like, what if just name something that you might know? And a lot of my parents just and they'll name stuff, right, but they really don't understand. And it's not just letter names, but that's an important key factor. And a lot of my parents sometimes don't know, and I'm going, okay, now that I know you don't know, what exactly is the cause, right? My pastor always has this saying, he goes, it's not the fruit of the problem, it's the root of a problem. So we always think that, okay, if parents are working, parents are this, parents are that, we always assume why parents are not engaged versus just simply asking why you're not engaged. And I got some really hard feedback as a principal over the last 2 years of why. And some parents are like, we don't feel welcomed at your school. So I go, well, tell me a little bit about why you don't feel welcome. But when we come to the front office, you make me show my ID. I know why we show the ID. I know why we do it, but I've never explained. And we always assume that because we have a system and a process in a school that every single body understands why we do it. A lot of our parents have been coming to the school for years. Some of our parents were students at Leith Walk. So when they come here and I'm like, you have to show your ID, a lot of them feel offended. Like, you know me. You know who I am. So now that you're going to ask me for my ID, I don't want to come anymore. And I have just created someone who feels unwelcome to come to the school. And I've heard that oftentimes. So now I do my best to explain the why of something. The reason we have to do ID is because we want to make sure your babies are kept safe. We want to make sure that every person in this building is kept safe. We live in a very different world than the world that we once lived in when we were in school. So this is the why. And then when you explain it, they're like, oh, I'm like, but you can volunteer. I can volunteer. Well, what's that process? So now we have dialogue going on. So we're getting better at it. We still have a lot more work to do because the more families I can get in here and explain to them why kindergarten is important and why these babies need this, the more parents actually go home and work with their kids on those actual skills. And then those kids come back and we see, oh my God, their progress and growth goes through the roof. So we're like, wow, okay, so teachers, yes, we love you, but parents, when you come in and you support us and you engage with our students and you understand the why of something, it makes a ton of difference in how we actually support and educate our students. And then we also have middle school. Middle school is a very different dynamic at Leith Walk. It hasn't been here for very long. So a lot of our parents are used to the pre-K through 5 model that Leith Walk had historically. And now we have 6th through 8th grade. Something happens when babies get to 6th grade, and I am still trying to figure out what it is, where we can have assemblies. And pre-K through 5, man, the building is filled. And then when we get to 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, we can probably fit all of the kids in at one time and the parents because the engagement goes down. And I think part of it, being a mom who's had middle schoolers, is that we start to give them that independence and we think that, oh, they're older now. They don't need me. That is far from the truth. Our babies in middle school need parents more than they probably needed them in 3rd and 4th grade because they're still looking for something. They're still trying to find their identity. They're still trying to figure out who they are. So this coming up year, we're going to actually do a bigger focus on middle school parents and how do we get you to engage? How do we get you to understand? And I know they say, Common Core math, Ms. Porter, I'm not doing that math. I don't understand. That's fine. I'm still working on it. But we have coaches who are extremely brilliant in this building who are going to take some time, not only during the school year, but during the summertime to actually support our parents in understanding it so that they don't feel intimidated when their children come home and need support, but they can actually work with them so that they can make sure that their children are successful. And the 6th graders are still babies. I'm sorry, they still are. My son is 16, he's still my baby. So they still need you. They still need to see your face. They still, even when they go, oh, Mom, don't come up, Dad, I don't want you. They still need you to come up. They still need to see you. And not just when you do something wrong, but they need to see you when they do something great as well.